I am so sick and tired of this, man. So done. And don't misunderstand me. We played an incredible game. We came ready for a fight and we brought the fight. But the one mistake, I'm so done with us being the team that always make the one mistake, the goalkeeping mistake. Why are no other teams making goalkeeping errors that lose them the game? Why is it always us? Be strong, man. They get the corner. You're thinking it's Arsenal. They're dark arts. They do that. Be strong. Command the box. Hold your ground. And at minimum, don't put up some weak, floppy deflection and allow it to just sit right on Calaflori's head. We gifted them that goal. They did nothing to deserve a goal today. Not a single thing. It's got to be abundantly clear that we are always the team making the goalkeeping errors. Whether it's Onana, whether it's Bayindir, it's always us. We've got to do something about that. It can't continue to happen because this is a game of margins, man. You're playing Arsenal. They're competing for the league. We took the game to them. They did nothing. They did nothing. Saka, he had some moments late, but for the most part, Dorgu had him in his bag. Odegaard, where was he? Now, 100% of the time, Arsenal should run through our midfield. That's obvious. They should. And unfortunately, Casemiro, while he has moments of class, at his ripe old age, he's just at the point where 50, 60 minutes, he's tuckering out and his fatigue kicks in and he starts to make mistakes that you just have to pull him out, right? He tries a flick in the attacking third, gifts it right to the defender, turnover, running back the other way. And then you put Ugarte in. He's going to come and be a little bit of an enforcer. But man, the smarts on this guy, where's the intellect? At the end of the game, Havertz drawing a foul on him. Come on, man. Just be a little bit more wise. Don't go in so full steam when you know they're trying to milk the clock. They're trying to draw you into something like that. You got suckered right into it. Unfortunately, Ugarte sometimes just makes some of these brain dead mistakes, which there's parts of his game that I like and there's parts of his game that need to improve. That's one of them. For the most part, I'm not going to be incredibly negative. What did I expect today? I expected a draw. I was hoping for a draw, but there's no reason we shouldn't have won that game. 22 total shots, 7 on target. We led them in XG. The whole first half, we dominated the game, completely controlled it. And when I saw the team sheet, got to be honest, I was a little bit worried, a little bit nervous by how that was going to look. But honestly, Ruben made the right call. We played a good shape. We controlled the ball. We had a little bit more of a defensive focus, but we were a big threat on the counterattacks. Only problem was, despite how big of a threat we weren't lethal. But we were the better team, and we should have never given up that goal, and that's the issue. Now, after that happened, last year, this team would have capitulated, right? They would have thrown in the towel. They would have probably given up a second goal, and it would have been unchaseable, right? I was watching to see how we would respond to that, and we fought back. We were still dangerous. We were trying to put the ball in the back of the net. It just wasn't happening. I mean, Cunha, bro, this guy might be the best signing of any team in the league this year. This guy changes the way we operate on offense, his ball carrying, and he is so much more fast than we all give him credit for. He gets down that line blistering. Out physical Saliba. Like this, I just love the hunger, the desire to control the ball. And he's a shit stirrer, right? You see Ben White kind of milking the clock, taking his old time. And Cunha's got these competitive juices flowing where I just like a guy that's a little bit unsettling, right? I like a guy that's showing some passion out there. And we haven't had a guy like that for a while. So thank goodness. Our hold-up play is miles better than it was. Thank God Højlund has been taken out of the team and told to move on because he can never hold up anything. Now we've actually got a keeper who can pass a ball to Mbeumo or Cunha. And even Sesko, I saw him have some nice touches despite the few minutes that he was on the pitch. But there's going to be a way now where we can play that style, especially with these little flick-ons. Now, the one area of concern for me, and this is just me being a little bit critical, the Ahmad and the Mbeumo relationship is definitely in its infancy. It's at its beginning stages, right? They're working out the kinks. They were stepping on each other's toes at points. They were getting in each other's way on shots at points. They were playing in the same spaces at points. That will improve because individually, these guys are just too good of football players not to make it work. And I think eventually in the game, you saw some instructions because then we started ISOing Ahmad out on that wing and he was getting by people like nothing, putting them on toast. We just lacked that end product, right? In the first half, we didn't really have a target man and we would hit these cutbacks and nobody is home. Sesko, that's going to be a little bit different. And you saw in his cameo in the second half, we've got a target man. We've got a guy that can win a header. We've got a guy that is going to be a mammoth space eater. And we're going to be able to create things around him because of the attention that he draws, right? Another thing, De Ligt deserves a lot of praise, man. I don't know what people's issues are with him, but this guy is so much more physical than Twitter seems to give him credit for. He is there to make a statement. He's going to win the ball. He's going to throw a shoulder, and I like it. I like some of that feistiness on our back line. And speaking of our back line I thought looked really good. Luke Shaw looked really good in the time that he was on the pitch. And, you know, always with Luke Shaw, there's going to be that, when's he going to get injured? How long can he last, right? And I think he's going to be on a shot clock. He's going to be on a timer. But when he's healthy and when he's right, he's class. We know that. And Yoro, of course, I just think Yoro, his star is going to shine the brightest. He is so good. And just from last year to this year, you can know he knows the physical levels of the game. He's already a big dude, although last year slim. He's certainly added muscle. He's certainly added mass to him. With that frame and that speed and his ability to play on the ball, he's going to be a weapon, man. You don't have to be a genius to see that this guy's the future of Man United. Gyökeres, I thought he was completely pocketed and silenced today. There were times where he got open, and I think he was candidly, you don't really want to say this and you don't want to expect it out of a professional footballer, but I think he had some nerves and his touch just wasn't right today. And doesn't matter because he's not our problem. Good luck, Arsenal. But I just think from a global perspective, right? Arsenal's contending for the league. Last year we were in 15th place, and look at it today. We're in 15th place. Poetic justice, right? Fucking sucks. But we could have won that game. We should have at least drawn that game. We shouldn't have lost that game. Stop giving up cheap goals. I wonder what the future is with Onana. Thought he was going to be healthy enough to play, but obviously missing the whole preseason and throwing him in against Arsenal to open the season after a rough year last year. Maybe Ruben's looking after him. Maybe Ruben's protecting him. But it's hard for me to see that Onana and Bayindir is a solution going forward. We've got to bring in another keeper. It's got to happen. Mainu, not sure why he doesn't get on the pitch today. That's an interesting one. And it's going to be interesting how that plays out. Now, even me, I think I'm prisoner of the moment sometimes. Mainu's still 19. He's far from the finished product. He's far from what he will be. We know how good he is. We know his potential. We know his skill. Guy's a class act. I would love to see us figure out how we can get him on the pitch. And it's just hard because I think a lot of us imagine that if we get Baleba, Mainu slides right in there with him. We might not be getting Baleba, but I'm choosing to keep out hope. And one of the reasons I do have hope is because since Ornstein and since Fabrizio and since all of these people saying that it's not going to happen this year for Baleba, I'm just wondering why there's been so little news and, in matter of fact, zero news regarding what we're doing now. What are we pivoting to? There's been people coming out and saying, oh, well, they'll look on to Wharton and they'll look on to that midfielder from Sporting, which I'm good, by the way. I'm good. I'd rather have Ederson or Wharton, but you'd have to figure it's going to be damn near impossible to get Wharton out of Crystal Palace by the end of the transfer window if we can't even get Baleba. But I am still holding out hope because you saw what Baleba posted on IG saying he's a Baleba. So am I. I'm going to hope and wish and pray until this transfer window is closed. We need a guy like that. And after today, just a ball winner, man. Our team is good enough. We've got enough skill all around the pitch. We need a ball winner, athletic freak specimen, somebody that's going to put us superior to other teams in the midfield. You've got to think that after seeing today the levels between Arsenal and us, we were right there. We were 15th last year and we were right there. We should have won the game. We deserved to win the game. But you can't win the game when it's a margins game and you lose out on the margins. You make goalkeeping errors. Just do your job. Just do what you're asked to do. Just don't make mistakes. You're a goalkeeper. Occasionally you're going to get beat. We all know that's part of the game. We accept that. Occasionally, somebody's just going to put a blistering shot right by you, and that's okay. Sometimes you're going to be let up by your defense. That happens. But don't mess up and botch the balls that you're supposed to secure. Don't get put out so easily by Saliba, man. And if worst comes to worst, do what Raya did later in the game. He just punched that mother effer right out. Leave no chance of it just dangling there for somebody to put it in the back of the net. So we'll see. All in all, I thought as a team, as a unit, we looked good. The press was good. The synergy, the chemistry was good. It's nice to see that some of the positive signs we saw in preseason showed themselves today, right? And it's only going to improve once we get Sesko acclimated to the team and involved in that starting 11. And then you get Ahmad and Bumo, get that partnership going and make it a little bit more fluid. I've got to say, as pissed as I am, mainly just because I hate losing by errors, I can be okay because I thought holistically we looked good. We looked better. We looked a hell of a lot better than last year, and that's encouraging. We'll fight on. We'll see what we do to close out the transfer window, but all in all, losses aren't acceptable. I'm not going to be happy with a loss, but I am happy with what I saw out of our team, out of our squad, out of Ruben, and we're on to next week. Let's go, baby. Go Reds.